There's a reason people don't just like Keanu Reeves, they love him. It's not just the movies, not just Neo or John Wick. It's the way he carries light in a world that keeps getting darker. Over the years, stories about his kindness started to spread online. Quiet acts that weren't meant for cameras, but for hearts. A stranger once shared how Keanu gave up his seat on the subway without hesitation. Another remembered him waiting in the rain for a fan's autograph, smiling as if he had all the time in the world. A movie crew told how he secretly paid their Christmas bonuses out of his own salary. And when those stories reached the internet, people didn't scroll past. They stopped. They felt something rare. Hope. Because in a world where celebrities scream for attention, Keanu whispers. And the whisper is louder than any shout. He doesn't post quotes about kindness. He lives them. He doesn't talk about pain. He transforms it. Every person who meets him leaves saying the same thing. He made me feel seen. That's his real legacy. Not the billion-dollar box office, but the billions of hearts he's touched. In interviews, he often avoids talking about his charity work, but insiders reveal he's donated millions to children's hospitals and cancer research. Quietly, without publicity. He funds programs for cancer patients, helps crew members' families in need, and still insists on living simply. He once said, "I'm just trying to be a decent human being." But the truth is, he's become a symbol of what humanity should look like. That's why when the internet crowned him the most wholesome man alive, it wasn't hype. It was gratitude. Gratitude for showing that compassion isn't weakness. That resilience isn't about being unbreakable. It's about being open enough to heal. And while Hollywood keeps searching for the next blockbuster, Keanu keeps searching for meaning. He works on new films not to prove something, but to create moments that move people. During a press event for John Wick 4, a reporter asked, "What happens when we die, Keanu?" He paused, looked at the floor, and then said softly, "I know that the ones who love us will miss us." That line went viral, not because it was poetic, but because it was true. It came from a man who's lived with loss, carried it, and turned it into love. Keanu Reeves doesn't preach. He reminds us that fame fades, money fades, but kindness echoes forever. And now, as he steps into his 60s, his story feels like something larger than a career. It feels like a message that the world still needs gentle heroes, and that the brightest light often comes from those who've walked through the darkest nights. But Keanu's journey isn't finished, because even legends have one last lesson to share. A truth that can only come from a man who's finally found peace within himself. In a world where headlines are dominated by scandal, ego, and chaos, Keanu Reeves remains a man out of time. A reminder that decency still has a place in fame. While others chase clout, Keanu quietly builds a legacy rooted in kindness, humility, and gratitude. His life has become a lesson that Hollywood desperately needed. Even now, as his movies break records and his presence on red carpets sends fans into frenzies, Keanu continues to live like an ordinary man. He still rides the subway. He still stops for coffee at local diners. He still talks to strangers, not because he has to, but because he genuinely cares. That authenticity is what separates him from the noise of celebrity culture. Behind the stoic gaze and the black suit of John Wick lies a man who's walked through grief deeper than most could bear, losing his best friend, his partner, and his child, yet choosing to heal by giving, by listening, by being human. Keanu doesn't need a PR team to tell the world who he is. His actions speak for him louder than any interview ever could. Recently, stories went viral of Keanu quietly funding children's hospitals under pseudonyms. A video of him helping crew members carry equipment on set racked up millions of views. People called him the internet's boyfriend, but to those who've met him, he's simply Keanu, the guy who remembers your name, who looks you in the eye, who says thank you like he means it. In an era where fame often destroys empathy, Keanu Reeves has turned it into a platform for grace. He reminds the world that success doesn't have to change who you are. It can reveal who you were meant to be all along. And maybe that's why his fans love him so fiercely, because in Keanu, They see the hope that decency can still win, that you can be powerful without being cruel, that you can be famous and still be real. As Hollywood evolves, one truth remains. Legends aren't made from box office numbers or awards. They're made from hearts that never harden, no matter how much pain they've seen. Keanu Reeves is living proof. In the end, the story of Keanu Reeves isn't about movies, fame, or even legacy. It's about the quiet power of goodness in a world that often forgets how to be kind. Crescent Moon. He's been called the internet's boyfriend, the monk of Hollywood, the last good man. But none of those labels truly capture him. Because Keanu Reeves isn't trying to be anyone's hero. He's just being human. And maybe that's exactly why the world loves him so deeply. Even now, after decades in Hollywood, Keanu still lives the same way he did when he first arrived, with gratitude in his heart and humility in his eyes. He still stops for fans on the street. He still signs autographs long after the cameras stop rolling. He still rides the subway, still donates millions in silence, still laughs softly when the world tries to make him larger than life. He knows life can be fragile. He's seen how everything can disappear in a heartbeat. That's why he cherishes every smile, every handshake, every sunrise. For Keanu, success has never been about money. It's about meaning, about leaving a trail of light wherever he walks. Clapperboard from The Matrix to John Wick, from heartbreak to healing, Keanu's journey has become a modern-day parable, proof that you can live with fame and still keep your soul intact. He's the man who's shown the world that being kind isn't a weakness. It's the greatest strength of all. In a time when Hollywood chases perfection, Keanu reminds us that beauty lies in imperfection, in scars, in silence, in sincerity. And that maybe the real measure of a person isn't what they have, but what they give. So when his story is told decades from now, people won't just remember the action hero, the superstar, or the meme. They'll remember the man who stopped to talk to strangers, the one who sat on a park bench, alone but at peace, the one who taught the world that compassion never goes out of style. Because some stars fade. But Keanu Reeves, he shines differently, not in flashes of fame, but in quiet, eternal light. Glowing star.